Hello, welcome to my channel, Crafty Fox DIYs. This video is part of the 12 Days of Christmas collaboration. Each day has a new theme, and today's theme is Gingerbread Man. The hosts of the 12 Days of Christmas collaboration are Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY and Krista from Krista's Crafty Life. I will include a link to both of their channels as well as a link to the playlist containing videos from all of the great contributors to the 12 Days of Christmas collaboration. Okay, let's get into it. For this first project, I am using this wood round that I got from Walmart and this wrapping paper that I also got from Walmart. And I'm going to cut a piece to Mod Podge onto the wood round. So I'm just laying my wrapping paper down upside down and tracing my wood round onto the wrapping paper and then cutting it out. Once I get it cut out, then I'm going to put Mod Podge onto my wood round to adhere the wrapping paper to the wood round and just put on a nice coat. This wrapping paper is kind of like a paper bag type, so I just needed, a nice sufficient amount of Mod Podge to hold that onto the wood round. Once I get that on there, then I also sanded off the edges, even though I didn't show that. And then I took a cookie cutter and got myself a rough outline of a gingerbread man and then made it larger on a piece of construction paper. Then I traced that pattern onto a piece of burlap and cut it out to make my little gingerbread guy. Now I am using some white string jingle bells and little bows that came from Dollar Tree to decorate my gingerbread man. So I'm just gluing these red bells to the center of my gingerbread on his belly. And then I'm taking a green bow, since I am using red bells, and gluing that right below his neck. Okay, now for the gingerbread's eyes, I am just using some little googly eyes. I got this in a mixed pack, I believe, at Walmart. There was a whole bunch of different stuff, pom-poms and pipe cleaners and all of that all in one bag. And now I am taking the white string and embellishing my gingerbread man with that, putting, like white icing around his feet, on his feet, and on his little arms to dress him up. I'm also going to use I'm going to kind of twirl it a little bit so it kind of looks like a little curl on the top of his head. And then I took a piece of a red pipe cleaner and bent it into a smile and glued that for his mouth. Okay, here I am going around the edges. Now I have this ribbon, it's gold and it has red and green little blocks on it, kind of in a checkerboard pattern, and I'm going to use that to make a hanger for my little wood around here. Now I'm also going to take a piece of that wrapping paper to help secure the ribbon onto the back of the wood round. And there we go for this one. Okay, now for this one I am making a little gingerbread man pan. And this is a lid that came off of a metal container from Dollar Tree. This is just the lid part, and I am going to paint it in this color Lacquer by Waverly Chalk Paints. So I'm just going to paint that all up and let it dry and then give it a second coat because I wanted to make sure that I covered it up really well. And I also had these little wood gingerbread men from Dollar Tree, and I'm painting them with the color Nutmeg by Apple Barrel. So there I go, putting the second coat on the pan to make sure that you can, on camera you couldn't see those pink dots, but in person you could. So that's why I went ahead and went with the second coat. Now I'm just using a combination of paint markers and permanent markers and paint to decorate my little gingerbread man up. I'm going to do 2 boys and 2 girls. So for the girls, I'll kind of make it look like they have a dress on. Then once I get all of those decorated the way I want, then I'm just going to glue those using hot glue onto the pan. And that is such a simple but absolutely adorable. I just love this. I think it is so cute. And then I took my sanding block and sanded off the edges because I want it to look like a cookie pan and I didn't want paint around the rim. Okay, there's that one. All right, now for this third project, I'm using these foam gingerbreads that I got from Dollar Tree several years ago. And I am going to glue 2 of them together but I'm only gluing around the edge because I am going to be stuffing this gingerbread. So I'm just going right close to the edge all the way around, making sure that I get it all nice and secure so the stuffing doesn't come out. I made 2 of these prior. I love to, whenever I can, make something and then show it on video. That way I get all of the flaws out of the process. So now I'm taking this polyfill. This was stuffing in an old couch that we had, but you could just use stuffing from an old pillow or just buy polyfill, whatever you choose to do. And I make sure I separated it really well because I didn't want it to be really thick. You could stuff yours thicker if you wanted to, but I wanted mine to look more like a cookie and not so much like a pillow. So I'm just making sure I separate the stuffing and get it nice and loose and fluffy, but it's not going to be real thick inside of my gingerbread man. And I used a wooden dowel rod. I bought a pack of these at Walmart. You can also get them at Dollar Tree. Mine hardly ever has them in stock though. They are a little bit cheaper at Walmart, believe it or not. So anyway, I'm stuffing this in there and I used the dowel rod to help get the stuffing into the feet. And for the arms, it was close enough that I didn't need to use the dowel rod though. Then for the head, I put some hot glue on there and then I'm just putting a light amount of the stuffing on it. And then I pressed down on the head to see how much I needed to cut off because when you mash it down, it's going to spread out. And I didn't want any of the stuffing to come out the sides of the gingerbread man. My very first one, that is a problem. It is sticking out in some places, but it's not real noticeable. So it's going to be okay. So now here's my 3 gingerbread men. I'm taking these little black pom-poms and I'm gluing those onto the gingerbreads for their eyes. And then I'm using this ribbon that I got from Temu. I got a pack of 4 different kinds of Christmas ribbon. And I'm cutting the ribbon in half. And then I'm going to cut up one edge to remove the wire because it'll be easier to tie around the gingerbread's neck as a scarf without the wire in there. I also wanted to fold it over. I glued it in the middle and then folded it over just to make it wrap around that. It seemed like it wrapped around the neck a lot easier that way for some reason. It may be because this ribbon is kind of thick, whereas like the ribbon you get from Dollar Tree is thinner. This ribbon is a little more thick and stiff, and so it was a little bit harder to maneuver. So then once I get the ribbon tied around, then I just glue it down where I want it to stay, and then I take my little scissors and snip the ends so that way I can create fringe, and then I just kind of rough it up so it looks more fringy. And then I take some more pom-poms and I glue those to the center of the gingerbread's belly. And that's it. Now I'm going to decorate the other 2 the same way, but I'm using different ribbon for each of those. Now for this one, I am going to glue the ribbon for the scarf down in the center, so I will not be gluing pom-poms onto it. But now for this one I will, and I noticed that I had some pom-poms that had like little glittery stuff on it. So that is what I used for this one, and then I go back and take the red pom-poms off of the other one because I had some red ones with the little glitter stuff on there too. So I decided to use those. And I have this tray that my eldest son made 15 years ago, and I'm not going to be painting it because this is how he painted it. So I'm going to be using it just as is. He was 11 years old when he painted this for me at Bible school. Okay, so now I'm putting some raffia and some Spanish moss into the tray and then just laying my gingerbread man on top of it. Okay, let's take one final look at all of these projects. Okay, that's all for this video. Be sure to check the description box for the link to the host channels as well as the playlist for the 12 Days of Christmas collaboration to get lots of Christmas DIY inspiration. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.